Welcome everybody back to The Hole in the World, an Invisible Sun actual play hosted originally by Monte Cook Games, but hosted here on Manapot Studios. I am your GM, as always, Zach. I use he, him pronouns, and I am your producer slash game master slash host with the most. And I'm joined once again, after a very long delay, by my four favorite cast members. Starting with Marcie, if you'd like to introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello! I am Marcie, aka Experimental Madness, which is my username still to this day, where you can find me most places around the internet. It's been a minute, but I do believe I am playing, let's see if I can do this, folks, Gabrielle, formerly known as Chmielinski, but now using her mother's actual name, Kazan, the iconoclastic ardent apostate who hosts a choir.
Hot damn!
Yeah! Still got it.
Yeah!
I'm very excited to see how many NPC names I forget. And that's my disclaimer.
I can't wait to throw so many just random made-up ones at you.
Oh, yeah, I'll just be like, yeah, I know that person.
Moving down the overlay, Bill, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bill. You can find me on Discord under the handle GhostSpike, and I'm playing Maurice Webb, a stalwart empath of the Order of Weavers who turns tales into reality.
Hell yeah! We got another one!
I read it off the screen. And Marcie was worried about forgetting NPCs. I asked Zach before we started recording how many dogs I had. That's where I'm at.
It's true. So, I feel like the less context for that, the better. So, we're just going to go ahead and move over to the other side of the screen. Hopper, if you would mind introducing yourself.
I'm Hopper. Sup. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Twig, Hey, fuck you. Look at me. I'm off top of the dome. Mendicant, gallant, apostate who heralds beginnings.
Hell yeah!
That's right, baby. Got it.
God damn, guys, I'm so proud right now. Last but not least, Marissa, take us home.
Hi, everybody. I'm Marissa. I still go by Critical Kitten most places on the internet, and I play your resident book mage, Curiel von Hollingsworth, who is an Aromatic Stoic who understands the words, guardian of Zaleska's Grimoire, curator of King Nine Library, maven of mirrors, and the most recent recipient of the Seed of Truth.
God.
There it is.
Stuck. It's emblazoned on my soul, folks. That little patter is just there, and it will be presumably forevermore.
You guys can't buy entertainment this good, and we give it away for free.
And that's just the intro.
Exactly. So speaking of introductions, a lot's been going on. Guys, this is the third and final season. If you have been watching to this point or been catching up, you will have seen probably all of the episodes through part 2 of the show, which ended, I believe our last session for that was sometime in 2023. So, welcome to 2025. You've also probably had an opportunity to watch live some of the interstitial scenes that we've been doing of each of our individual kind of cast members or player characters return to Satyrine. So there's been some interesting developments that will hopefully or maybe come up over the course of today's session. But for all intents and purposes, this scene today is the first session where all of the player characters are once again out of development mode and back with each other in Satyrine together. So no more side scenes. Now we have the whole family. So that said, a bit more of a recap is in order, and I'm going to go ahead and play some music for that. So, previously on The Hole in the World, our Vizsla had voyaged across the actuality into the silver and gold suns to discover more about their shared past and the plans of Marlowe Anvers and the mysterious Vespertine. Fighting strange agents of a cosmic conspiracy, you all struggled with the knowledge that you knew now to be true. The forces of the Indigo Sun of Satyrine lost the war. You could not remember to the enemy who had forced you to forget. Armed with this knowledge and 2 powerful artifacts, the Seeds of Truth, you have returned to Satyrine to determine your next steps. And that is where we're going to pick up. Short and sweet. So, I would like, unless anybody has a particular place that they want to start, I can kind of go at random, or I can draw a card, and we can
Draw a card.
Draw a card.
Draw a
We
card.
love the cards.
We love the cards.
Love
Okay.
cards.
1 second.
Watch it be like the horrific ending. Brutality, trauma. Sunday.
This card
Watch-
just says stop the show.
Don't pay for the whole seat. You're only going to need the edge. And the card I draw, of course, is the Doctor, the nemesis of Vision, Swans, Blades, and Water. Which, Twig, I believe is your nemesis.
No. That's my secret soul.
Uh-huh.
The Doctor is my secret soul.
Oh, that's true.
I think that's a get fucked Kiri card.
Oh, no.
No, it's,
Or is it
it's
get fucked
definitely not. It's
Maurice?
Maurice.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
It's
never been-
Maurice.
Oh,
It's a
no.
Not it.
And, of course...
Wait, which stat is this? This is the soul.
It's in
No?
your card family.
What's your card
so
family?
Underneath
Swans.
heart.
Oh, okay,
That's
it's
you.
hard. It's hard. Okay.
Yeah. Vision, Swans, Blades, and Water. All
Yep.
those... So let's actually, let's start with you, Maurice. This is not a auspicious card, but it's not necessarily a bad one either. It's really more about having, to do the to be the kind of like look for the salvation, or to have the salvation that you rather would not need, but God, now I'm starting to sound like the Dark Knight. It's the Doctor that you need, but you don't want. Yeah, so...
Look at me. It's the Doctor that you need, not the Doctor that you want.
him? Sorry. So, Maurice, what does the second day in Satyrine look like for you? And if you want to include any revelations from your kind of previous interlude, go ahead.
Yeah. I think Maurice is digging through, or kind of sorting through, the pieces of his house that has been chomped through. I believe what he was able to learn after a brief visit with Basil Victorum, who is a detective that he brought to life out of a book a long time ago, that there is some sort of abyssal demonic taint to this. So whatever it was that took a bite out of my house and sent it scurrying, trailing debris, is probably to do with the dark, which is definitely related to what we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And so he is kind of looking at, the kitchen is gone. So that's like maybe like 25% out of this structure, you'd say, Zach?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And he has heard that Abron, the maker, he showed up at the Hendasa?
Yeah. What was it?
Just the Acclamation Center?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that he showed up at the Acclamation Center. You remember you had given him some additional, kind of basically, I'd kind of pointed him in the way of the Hendasa Acclamation Center after you guys had returned from the war report. And basically kind of put him into touch. So as far, I think it may have been that that may have been something that you have. Oh, that's right. I believe that happened during your side scene.
Yeah.
So
So I think Maurice has sent a missive. Oh, do I have any cool incantations and stuff?
I don't know.
Those
do
are
you?
those are things
Those
that
are-
we have.
Those are certainly things that we could have.
Nothing that quite helps me now. Here, I'm gonna throw this to you, Zach. What is a way someone might send a telegram inside Arene?
Well, you know for a fact that you have a kind of a flying moth, a missive moth, as it were. That is a kind of a pretty well-known spell that's in the general canon. You also know that there are a wide variety of telegram services. You could use the Death Cab postal service. Telegram.
Yeah. So I want to have sent same-day delivery by the Death Cab postal service.
Oh, absolutely.
For Abron to come meet me as I am at my location, as I kind of sift through the debris of my broken apartment.
Absolutely. I think we can certainly have arranged that transpired pretty immediately. Basically, the dead embassy kind of representatives who are kind of working during the day as well, and these kind of make up this kind of absolute necessity for the dead embassy and for the Pale itself. What they do is they take this delivery, and there's, I think, the kind of the motif or the motto of this for the Death Cab is basically the motto is with the certainty of finality, your package will arrive. And so essentially, these dead figures you recognize like in the same vein as your coworker or former coworker Thomas Kildred. You kind of pass this over, and once again, those kind of like grinning skulls with very nicely epauletted uniforms and kind of chauffeur's caps kind of bow, just and take your telegram. And within probably a matter of a couple of hours, I think Abron makes his way to you. So what is it that you kind of have on your mind? What's baking your noodle as this starts?
Maurice wants to just kind of get a sense of what Abron is, how Abron's doing right now, what he knows, what he remembers, how he's doing, and he has a favor to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Abron kind of at this point, and you recall that Abron is probably one of the most heavily changed Vizsla that you've encountered. His torso, while he himself seems to walk with a limp on a cane that is held up by human hands, and he seems to walk on kind of human legs, his entire torso is a fortress, a bastion, upon which are posted miniature kind of on miniature battlements, or even more miniature soldiers. And it's one of these that's like looking at you, talking to you, and says, yes, you sent for me. How's everything transpiring?
Abron, yes, come in. Thank you very much.
And he kind of like cranes the bastion up, the like drawbridge, almost looking out as though it was like a cyclopean eye in his torso. And he just looks at you and says, I don't take it you're redecorating.
No. Yeah, this is a new development. Sidebar: was Abron changed in the war report, or did he look different?
He was completely unchanged in the war report. He was as human as you could make him.
Amazing.
But what you remember from what he told you during your time at the Cluster of Cloisters was that he felt the need to, after the war, from dealing with his trauma, that he had to garner more protection for himself on his person, so that basically he always felt defended.
So Maurice leads him up the stairwell. His apartment is kind of a generic apartment lobby, with the mail slots and a stairwell up. to the only door, which is Maurice's apartment, and he shows him in. And Maurice looks at him and says, "You're looking well."
Thank you. I manage. Of course, I'd be making more alterations, but money is tight.
And I think Maurice is looking for any sort of reaction, one way or the other, from Duncan and Duncan Prime, and from Abron to the presence of the dogs.
So do me a favor, like, well, what is it that you are trying to kind of like learn? Like, yeah,
Maurice says to Abron, "Do you like dogs?"
Do you like dogs? I think
like dogs?
Yeah, you like dogs. Yeah, I think at this point, Duncan kind of saunters over, as well as Duncan Prime, and I think that, you know, Abron puts his hand forward for them to sniff. Do me a favor and roll for Duncan. What level's your house, by the way?
My house. This is a great question that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Possessions. House? No.
Mm-hmm.
Soul. House. My house is level 6.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then
I put a lot of points into this for some reason.
All right. Because Duncan is an extension of you, not Duncan Prime, but Duncan is an extension of you, I want you to roll, and I believe your magic twig made Duncan a what level creature? 5? I want to say.
I believe it was 5 or 6.
Yeah. So let's kind of just split hairs and call. Let's not split hairs. Let's go ahead and say both Duncans are level 6.
Okay. What do you want me to roll for? Just a 1d10 or?
Yeah. Well, roll for Duncan. You can roll 2.
All right, I'll roll 2 for Duncan. That's a 9.
Okay.
On one of the 2 dice, and for Duncan Prime, the highest is a 5.
Okay. So yeah, I think that both of them kind of sniff, and I think Duncan Prime kind of takes a look, and I think there's a bit of a growl from Duncan Prime, and then, you know, basically Abron says, "I promise, I mean you no harm," and he kind of scritches. He kind of like once again lets Duncan Prime sniff, and then Duncan Prime's kind of snarl kind of abates, and then Duncan, I think, kind of like looks up to you, and there's just kind of like something he seems to be trying to communicate to you, but hasn't said anything.
Maurice says, good. And he kind of paces around. "Please sit," and gestures to like the only open seat in this place, a very comfortable, easy chair. The couch is covered in junk and periodicals. So this really is the only seat. So go ahead and take a seat. I'd offer you something to drink, but kitchen's gone.
I see. Well, I'm sorry. I hope I don't take it went wandering, did it?
Well, I think it ran sort of the way a wounded animal might.
And as you kind of like say that, the thing that strikes you about kind of like your domicile without your kitchen is just how much less warmth and how much less comfort there is. Like almost like whatever took the kitchen out of the home almost did so out of spite. And Abron sits down, and he kind of waits patiently as you kind of brew tea, and he looks at you and says, "Yes,
I can't brew tea."
Oh, that's right, you can't. You literally just said that.
Yeah, Maurice packs a pipe. He lights it with a finger flame and says, "How's work been going?"
Actually, very well. It's been strange seeing some of and he kind of, I think, lingers for a moment, as if kind of waiting to tell you. And then he realizes that you also know, otherwise you probably wouldn't have ushered him over here. And he says, "It's been interesting seeing our old companions, comrades at arms, as it were."
Do you remember?
Only bits and bobs, background. I didn't have as much closeness to the cataract and to operations as you and Kieran did. So much of what I have is fragmentary, but I do remember who you are and were, and as well as who Kieran von Milas is.
Wow, all that in your first week? Pretty impressive.
It's been quite disconcerting, in all honesty. Suddenly remembering a whole facet of a life that I once led, and yet there's just not any way to kind of recapture the rest of it.
I sympathize. There's a lack of completeness to it. Leaves you wanting.
Yes.
This, and he gestures with his pipe to the missing apartment, is related to what happened in the war. Related to it in the sense that, well, we're doing something about it. And it's all beginning to move quite quickly. And, well, I don't think this is a safe place for Duncan Prime anymore.
And he kind of looks down and kind of looks between the two dogs and just kind of says, "Oh."
That one.
Ah, okay. So, what are you saying?
I'm saying that I'm glad that you remember me because I'm going to cash in on that relationship and ask you a favor.
Very well. How can I help you?
Can you just take care of Duncan Prime? I know he's connected to the house somehow, and the house is in danger. And if it means that he could stay with you, or maybe you come over here a couple times a day, just 3 or 4 times, 5 times a day.
Well, it would be my honor. I would be absolutely pleased to help. What are you planning to do about all of this? And he kind of just looks through the hole in your domicile.
Well, perhaps that's something we could talk about over a meal. And I'd like to retcon. When I sent the telegram to him, I sent invites to everybody else to meet me for dinner at what's the restaurant in the Topiary district that we ate at that one time?
The restaurant in the Topiary district would have been Garver's.
Yes. So I've sent missives for Gav and Twig and Kiri to meet for dinner at Garver's. And I ask Abron to come with me there now. And
Absolutely.
What format do your missives take?
It's the Death Cab bone people.
just more death cab for us cuties.
Yeah. And I definitely getting this soldier vibes for sure.
And he looks to you and says, "Well, I can certainly take Duncan Prime with me. I may have to make a quick stop. Is there any place? Is there a time I can meet you?"
Sure. The time that I wrote down in the thing that we're all going to show up.
Excellent. Very well. And he
11:12 p.m. in Saturday.
the 13th hour.
That sounds like a killer radio program title.
The 13th hour?
No, the 11 to 12th hour.
11 to 12 p.m. in Saturday.
11 to 12?
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Exactly.
It's 11 to 12 p.m. in Saturday. Do you know where your sardine is?
Yes.
There we go. Yeah. And if you... He looks to you and just says, I'm just I'm so glad we had an opportunity to connect once again. It's been hard to make... it's hard to kind of piece together this knowledge. I'm not sure what's going on. What they are up to, I should say. I barely even know who they are.
Exactly. It's complicated and confusing. And like I said, I still don't have all the pieces yet together. But I know that they're on the move and they're trying to stop us. And what happened to my house, it's more of that is coming.
Very well. And then I shall see you at Garver's then, at 11D12.
Thank you. And Maurice reaches out a hand and helps him up out of the chair.
1 second.
Uh-oh.
I just need to do something right quick.
Oh, I thought like a bomb was going to explode or something.
So I've drawn a card.
Okay.
Which is the unknowable truth. Its, highlight color is indigo. Its weakened color is gray, which means truth, searching, and futility. The raven stands watch over the unknown. As we strive for understanding, the closer we get to the truth, the farther away it becomes. We know this to be true, but only after we've made the journey. The truth we learn is that we cannot actually know the truth. At the very heart of the Secret's family, the unknowable truth is the ultimate secret, the secret that cannot be, by its very nature, learned, but still we try anyway. It is futile, and yet it is productive. Even when you climb an infinite mountain, you are still moving forward. It affirms and advocates for a conclusion, however, it indicates futility regarding a plan. Otherwise, it means that the answer requires more searching, perhaps searching elsewhere. The question is answered with a yes. I think that you get the sense that as you as you shake a bronze hand at this moment, like, what is it that's running through your mind that you are trying to, like, what have you been searching for in this kind of return and in this kind of return of this comrade and companionship?
Maurice is actually not sure what to do with LeBron. There's a lot of uncertainty in this handshake. Mm-hmm. How much to tell him, how much to trust him, how best to use him.
Okay. And I think in this moment, in this handshake, as you kind of look almost expectantly where your eyes would normally meet a human face's and instead meet the top tower of a battlement, kind of like you just kind of have this sense that you're still not sure what to do with him. And he takes a look at, kind of like stares down at Duncan Prime, reaches for Duncan's Prime's leash, and says, "Well then, let's go. Come on then." And that is when you notice that Duncan, not Prime, is starting to kind of whine and whimper. And I drew a second card, which is the cat. Cats see much. They prowl about or simply find a good vantage point and watch and sleep. Should something really catch their eye, however, they move to investigate. Curiosity killed the cat, as the saying goes, and it's true. But cats have 9 lives, and thus they can afford a little curiosity. The cat is the companion of the Notions family. It watches over them, and sometimes even protects them. Okay. So, as Duncan Prime is dragged slightly by the leash, you catch kind of like the micro interaction of the tug on the leash. And then you see Duncan having whined and kind of whimpered, suddenly lurch forward and bite Abron's leg. So at this moment, Abron yells out in pain, and suddenly Duncan Prime, seeing that, also attacks. In this moment, beset by the two dogs, Abron begins crying out in shock and surprise. And I need to know what you are doing in this moment.
Stop right now.
And I think at this point, I need you to make me a interaction roll. Your target number is going to be 6. You're going to need 2 successes in order to convince them to stop, because that's their level.
All right.
However,
I'm going to spend both my bene. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, however, there may be a more pronounced effect if you exceed the total.
And I'm obligated to tell you, teacher forgot to give us homework. I have a Vex in my interaction that you can use at any time.
I will use that now. You may cancel out one of your bene.
Well, fine. All right, so I roll two dice for this, or just the one?
You are going to use 2 dice because you need to succeed twice.
So I'll need to spend a sortilege in order to
Yep.
have any chance of succeeding. Okay. A 9.
Okay.
9 and a 2.
9 and a 2. You get Duncan to stop, but Duncan Prime is still attacking Abron. And that's when you see Abron backhand Duncan Prime. And you see him fly across the room.
I think you should go. I'm so sorry. This wasn't a good idea. And Maurice moves over to Duncan Prime. He looks at awakened Duncan and says, "Sit." And he moves over to Duncan Prime.
As Abron rises, would you make me a perception roll?
Aye, sure. The 5.
There is, as Abron rises, there seems to be like a blink and you miss it. There is a small mote of light that is in the heart of that drawbridge through the portcullis of the fortress, just very glimmering faintly like a ghost light in the darkness.
What do I make of this light?
That's all you get. And Abron stands and says, "Well, I suppose I should leave then. Best of luck. I suppose I'll see you at the Acclimation Center."
Maurice, I think in shock, and says, "Yeah, that would be best."
And he quickly departs.
Is Duncan Prime okay?
Duncan Prime seems really more kind of, I think, stunned than wounded, but that's when you hear Duncan say to you, "He smelled wrong."
Wrong how, buddy?
Wrong bad. Like he
Wrong like how the kitchen's gone is wrong?
No. Different. Worse. Like he wasn't like you. He was something different.
All right. And he scratches the top of Duncan's head and says, "You're allowed to say something beforehand, you know."
Okay. I couldn't tell. He was saying nice things, but smelling bad and doing nice things, and it was confusing.
I understand, bud. Hey, let's practice. Next time that happens, say, what are you going to say?
Hey, you! No!
All right, what if we want to be a little bit more subtle?
Hey.
How about, Dad, can I talk to you in the other room real quick?
Dad, can I talk to you in the room real quick?
Perfect. Good boy. Good boy.
And yeah, at this point, I think this is where we can kind of cut from this scene. My question, though, is everybody still meeting at Garver's?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't sent out any other plans to, or any other information, communication to that effect, so.
All right. Okay, so in that case, what we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick kind of round robin before we kind of reunite everybody. I want to get a quick assessment of where everybody is in the lead up to this meeting. Who wants to go first? Like, tell me about, like, the receiving the message and, you know, where your head at is, what you're thinking as you make your way to this restaurant in the Topiary district.
Did I get the missive?
I think if you got back, then you got the missive.
To where?
To Satyrine.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, so I sent it to your house.
Which is complicated.
Go on.
No reason. No, just, I guess the house is still there.
The house is still there.
It's really the rest of the surrounding landscape that's gone for a bit of a walkabout.
Mm-hmm. More like it's the landscape surrounding the house has been infested. But I will say there is not very much that can really deter a dead postman.
Yeah, I guess, sure. What does this look like? Because I don't think Twig has left the wastes, and they're now much less gardeny. Like the shattered remains of this garden.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
The aperture through which you both went into and emerged still stares at you with kind of like these kind of silver flecked leaves on either side of it. You know still that wherever it leads is waiting for you. And I think you're just I think you've been waiting for this opportunity, essentially kind of trying to I don't want to put, you know, thoughts in your character's head, but like, I mean, I imagine would they welcome the opportunity for them to kind of for you to ask for their help?
There was a lot of confusing pronouns that you just said, and can I get that one more time?
Yeah, sure. So they
also feel free to put thoughts in my head. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game, huh?
Yeah. Well, you have to. I was gonna say Twig has to be wandering with, and also with this kind of uneasy, copacetic, détente, for lack of a better word, between you and Okris. Like, are you welcoming a missive or a communication from anybody? Because in it lies the promise that you could ask them for help, your friends or your colleagues.
Yeah, I guess, like, it sounds like this mail is going to get delivered whether I want to or not. I think Twig is currently running the body and is kind of in Shrek mode.
Mm-hmm. I see. So in this case...
AKA get out of my swamp?
Yeah, I think at this point, I think what happens is you hear a commotion, a sound of breaking bones and just snapping branches and crushing bricks. And you see Fix Up, this floral colossus, holding up by an ankle bone a half-broken dead postman who looks at you, stares, finds you with the kind of like the lights at the back of their socket that are faint, looks at you and says, "Message for you."
Have I seen this before? These guys before?
You know. I think you've seen a lot of weird stuff. You may not have seen a dead postman. Or a member of the Dead Postal Service. Or the Death Cab Postal Service.
Killing me. I would like to cast a spell.
You may certainly cast a spell.
And that spell is... I have Inculpable Aura up and Plentiful Pockets, but this spell specifically is Scent of Magic.
Okay.
So that is a level 2 indigo. I will spend the sortilege necessary.
Mm-hmm. What you trying to find out?
Not sortilege, the sorcery necessary. I just want to know what this thing is.
Define which of the thing? The missive?
No, the death cab.
Yeah.
Postal service.
Okay. It smells like a dead guy. Because it's a skeleton wearing a very fancy looking kind of postal worker / chauffeur suit with a matching cap. It has broken arms in several places where Fix Up has walloped him. And then just you smell pale magic. But otherwise it just kind of smells like a dude.
Dude, just a dead guy.
Just a dead guy. Just
I
like
think
all
Twig is just
bone.
kind of staring at this and doesn't indicate for Fix Up to put this creature down. Just kind of goes, "What are you?"
Well, I'm one of the dead. Never seen
skeleton-
somebody who's dead before.
I've seen a lot of dead people.
Oh yeah, I'm one of them. I'm also a mail carrier. And I'll have you know, there are many Garants that take quite a bit of an exception to any stoppages in the delivery of mail.
Are you threatening me with your dad?
I think you hear something in the back of this skull that honestly sounds like the hardest rolled eyes that would exist in there if they had any flesh on this skull at all, and just says, "Yeah, I guess my dad. However, I have to tell you, if you mess with the finality of the Postal Service, that finality will find you."
No, that's the other guy.
What makes you think that they're not the same?
No, they're an asshole. Trust me. I live with them.
I don't think you've ever... You know what? I'm just going to assume you've never heard of Empress Jalad. You can hear just the bones, the finger bones clacking as he kind of waves this thought away. So, would you please accept this so I can reconstitute myself and then leave your lovely abode?
How'd you find me?
I pay taxes like everybody else. I have a job to do. You don't get to learn all of the dead secrets. The dead men tell no tales, especially dead mailmen.
They tell no tales, but they do pay taxes.
There's nothing else more certain in life than death and taxes.
See, I've got a problem. You shouldn't be able to find me. And I sure as fuck don't pay taxes.
Maybe it's because the person who sent this knows where to find you.
So you knew where to find me.
I went where the missive told me to go.
Yeah, Twig's gonna kill this thing.
Okay.
He's gotta die. He's gotta go. He can't know where I live.
Okay.
That's a problem.
All right.
No one can know where my house is.
Yeah.
So wait. Actually, you know what? Before I let you do this, I should say, let me make sure I don't have to retcon something. Like, Maurice, would you have known where this house is? Like,
Wig, did your house move?
No.
I sent it to yeah.
Ugh.
The fact that you happen to be there is ruining your day, apparently.
look, if you want to kill this mailman again, you may certainly do that.
Why would you ever tell the feds where you live?
What is a Fed?
Shut up. I'm not talking to you. Why is everybody so... Just because we live in a wacky, stupid world where nothing makes sense and everything is just as ludicrous as it can possibly be, does not mean you can trust authority figures with your location. Like,
Look,
did everybody come back from the gray and lose their fucking minds?
Somewhere Maurice feels chastised, but he doesn't know why.
look, I am just a working class, bag of bones. You know, I got a couple of clackers at home that I need to make sure that they get their bone meal.
Twig pulls out Fortinbras and just shoots this thing in the face.
All right, just you just see all that's left, just a jawbone, a lower jawbone, at which point you just hear coming up from kind of where the larynx would be. This is going to be so much paperwork. And
oh God, you're going to be so annoying to kill, aren't you?
he just drops the missive at this point. Look, do whatever. I'm done.
All right. Do you want to be a topiary or
No, I want you to let me go so I can begin walking back home.
I already explained
Filing
why I can't do that.
workman's comp lawsuit. And by the
Look,
way,
it's not personal.
It's very personal, buddy.
Oh.
You have made it personal, okay? You have made it point blank personal. And let me just tell you right now.
Do you want me to roll for that?
Yeah, I'm going to say you didn't even ask his name. Go ahead and roll. You're going to need 2 dice to put this guy down.
Good news, everyone. Let me hold on. I have to do some math. Okay. Fortinbras is a whole thing. This has been a minute since I've done these.
I want to say
mental math.
I want to say Fortinbras is a level 5. Yeah,
I believe Fortinbras is level 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead. If you can do 2 dice and you can get 2 on both dice.
Okay. I have medium range weapons, level 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fortinbras.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think that beats the challenge.
I just need to roll. I just need to pop 1 sortilege to get the second dice, or
Yeah,
I might have something.
Do that.
Do I have something that gives me 2 dice? I feel like I might have.
It is kind of a magic gun. I will give it to you. But the thing is,
okay, cool.
You destroy this thing utterly. You feel whatever kind of voice that was inside of it leaves it. You get the sense, however, a very foreboding sense.
I had 2 dice anyways.
Yeah. You get a very bad sense that whatever you have done, you have picked a fight that you cannot win.
Okay. Tuesday.
All right.
Like, what? I've
do
been
you
here for like 3 weeks, and everything and everyone wants to kill me, and the whole world is awful, and I've got stupid fucking cat ears now. Like, this place sucks.
All right.
I have an asshole roommate living in my head, and then our asshole dad, or whatever the fuck, is also in there.
All right.
Oh no, I picked a fight with the impossible. Ah.
All right. We're going to cut away from this, but before we do that, I have to ask you, did you actually read the missive?
I think Twig would kind of like... Twig is not doing great. Kind of wanders around for a little bit. I think plants the bones and kind of does some magic to make some basic plant magic to like have vines begin growing up and kind of turning it into a creepy scarecrow, and then finally goes back and bothers reading the missive.
Okay. At that point, you realize it is a note from Maurice with a opportunity for you to get to Garver's. We're gonna cut from there. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, Gabrielle, what are you getting up to?
I think since being back, it seems like everyone else went away and Gav's been left to her own devices for a hot minute in Saturnine. She's been back to her old tricks of annoying the local authorities in Saturnine and continuing to make life extremely hard for those that are trying to police or run the city, aka the Vespertine. But at this moment, she might be back in her home base.
So, one thing I do need to know is, I know that your home base is in the Ruined Expanse.
It truly is.
Have you been to... What other districts have you been to?
Is that your way of giving me Marcy a pop quiz? Like, let's see what she fucking remembers about how the city's laid out.
This is not a pop quiz. This is I am trying to figure out something logistically of what I can tell you.
That'd be great if I remembered the names of the districts outside of the Ruined Expanse and the Topiary district.
Okay, hold on.
Zach's been waiting for this.
We have this technology.
I've got the Secrets of Silent Streets.
Oh, Zach's so excited that I didn't remember right now.
I remember Lower Taverswood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, technically, I might be in Upper Taverswood-ish.
There is only a Lower Taverswood.
No
gone.
The Upper Taverswood is gone. So, there's the Brickhouse District, the Celestial Bazaar, the Confederacy of Cloisters, the Fade, Fartown, the Hollows, Lower Taverswood, the Marquis Quarter, the Palindrome, Quiet Lake, the Reinvention, Rivenholme, Rive River, the Strange Glass District, the Topiary District, the Undersling, which I feel like you would have spent time in.
I hang out there.
Yeah, and Zardim and the Ruined Expanse. So, of those places, I would say that your business has probably, in the past, taken you to many of those places, particularly Fartown, the Undersling. But I'm curious if there's any place else you've been to that's out of, that may have been out of your way that you went to check out.
Out of those districts, where is, it either might be one or two that are primarily where a lot of the government agencies are for Saturnine.
The Marquis Quarter.
Yeah, then I've been there.
Good.
I'm wondering, Zach, how much of my graffiti or signage is now popping up over the city?
I will tell you that right after I tell you some other things. So, as you know, you are the bearer of the seed of truth of verified fact. You basically are able to see through magical illusions, and you are able to see things that are not there. Prowling down the streets of every district, you see hound-like creatures that are all kind of like this, almost like angry, like flesh, like reddish, fleshy, pinkish, kind of monocolor, and you realize that they have these kind of long probosces that kind of like almost like take their eyeless forms and kind of swoop back their head. And these probosces almost kind of seem to glide through the air as if acting as sensors. And every time you've passed one, its sensor has kind of, or antennae, or whatever you want to call this thing, has risen stock straight. And these creatures apparently rely on this and an olfactory sensibility, because literally all of them start smelling and sniffing around you. But for whatever reason, and if you had been, say, Kiri in this moment, you would have recognized these from a previous life, or let's say Allegra, for that matter. If you had been a part of that previous life, you would know that these are pneumivores. These are hounds that devour the memories of their intended victims, and they are everywhere in the city. And not only that, but whatever they are, whenever they stop to like sniff and look for you, for whatever reason, they cannot seem to find you.
Interesting.
The second thing I need to tell you, as I put in a little bit more suspenseful music. When you go to the Marquis Quarter, now you know that the greatest landmark in the Marquis Quarter is a massive spire of the government building, spiraling up, punching into the sky. However, whilst bearing the seed of truth, you see it for what it truly is. It is not a building. It is not architecture. It is many-faceted and many-angled in its surfaces, as its form seems to undulate and zig and zag, as its face seems to look up into the sky before kind of arcing down and looking around the city like an ever-watching sentinel.
It's a being?
You recognize the creature that killed Quiss, the Warden of Truth.
Okay. I'm just out here with casual like eldritch horrors. That's great. Did not have that on my bingo card.
Yeah, casual.
So they're inside. At one point we were inside this building too. It was not a building, but we were just poking around like a creature's brains.
You were poking inside of it.
Absolutely
However,
not.
it's many-angled, and for whatever reason, you believed you were in architecture because of the illusions this thing cast. And all of the pristine guard members and the thaw that seem to kind of like traffic in and out of this structure, you recognize as Arabast. All of the thaw, the police forces of the city, all of the pristine guard members, everybody, with the exception of whatever civilians work in government, all of them are those possessed Arabast.
Oh God.
This is the seat of power. This is presumably where the Deathless Triumvirate live.
And they're basically enslaving my people into like becoming their own private military. Do I have that correct?
This is the design of the Vespertine.
Yeah, let's fucking... No, I can be chill about that. I can be so... Do they have anything, Zach? Do any thrall that I see have any does this possession look like it is something that I could break by removing something, or it's too complicated?
So there are these large black helmets that essentially kind of like, when you look at a Thaw member, basically they look like they have these almost like Soviet style red suits and black long kind of like almost like British military, like Royal Guard style helmets that are more like plasticine or porcelain. But what you see as a helmet on these figures is actually just like almost like an organic kind of melded form to their heads. And you remember seeing basically in flashbacks in the war report where the Vespertine, these dark wizards, had essentially grabbed hold of Erebast and cursed them and basically formed this almost cursed apparatus to form on their heads. And they have clearly been at this and doing it for a long time. And not only that, whatever they did, they managed to have it so it would spread quickly. So you have a feeling that if you could break that, that would be the way to do it, was to basically kind of figure out how this apparatus works and disable it or uncurse it. And you realize inside of you as you see this, as you go from these sites and you see the Marquis district finally, and you see all these Numivores, Ethereal inside of you speaks up and says, I never could have imagined that it was this pervasive, this bad. And then Jakob speaks up inside of you. Finally, you hear his voice, and he says, this is what they did to us. This is what they did to me.
Well, then I know exactly what Gav's been working on in this interim period. It's trying to figure out how to uncurse her people.
Okay. That is good. That's a first stop. As to your actual question, I am going to pull a card, and we're going to see how well the Blue Pinion Brotherhood. Woo! This is good news for you.
What'd you pull?
The Revolutionary, the Sovereign of Secrets, Ravens, Books, and Flame, is a force for change, quite possibly the best secret of the family. The Revolutionary is brave and bold, changing what needs changing, even if through destruction or violence. These strongs, this is all about sexuality and all that kind of stuff, but this aspect is quite separate from the other. There is no suggestion. Generally considered a positive card. Change for the better. So what I say this is I think that this coincides with something that you hear about in passing, which is that something happened like a very brief time ago, and a massive body of earth, wailing and screaming and shaped like a human, tore through the city. And this afforded the Blue Pinions an opportunity. There has been rioting. There has been There has been people protesting against something that they don't actually know what it is. There are people just out on the street milling around. There is Thaw presence being disseminated out throughout the city. You see all these figures going out quickly as you kind of make your rounds. So whatever you and Aerox as well as Luster did, it's been taking off.
We're going to keep fanning those flames, because I'm montaging this, because obviously this is over the course of, I imagine, like maybe a week or two.
Yeah. We can, well, I was going to say this is really more of like what's been happening on your second day. However, you've been gone a while, But the other thing is, one, we probably should do another scene for you and I at some point. But two, the other thing I will say is that you have had probably, after doing that mission in the Gray, you have had access to the oblong chamber in Kieran's disposal. So you have been able to dilate time however you need to for whatever purposes, whether it's for training or for learning more, doing research.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I will say, for the sake of where this letter finds me, it is definitely still in my base in the Ruined Expanse.
Excellent. Okay.
Probably after like another day of scoping out the Marcus district.
All right. So we are gonna, in that case, unless there's anything else you want to do, we're gonna cut there, and we're gonna meet back up with Kiri. Okay. So, Kiri. Some things have also transpired at the Vancian campus that you were privy to. What have you been getting up to since then on your second day?
I decided for a game that is one of its primary mechanics is a Sooth deck, I was going to answer that question with a tarot deck.
All right.
So,
Game recognized
friends, what we've got, friends, is a reading of 3 cards. The first is the 6 of Cups. The second is the 6 of Pentacles. And the third is the Magician.
Ooh.
So, the 6 of Cups is traditionally like nostalgia and harmony. It means emotional connections to the past, like reconnecting with old friends, reminiscing, finding comfort in simple, familiar pleasures. The 6 of Pentacles is about generosity and balance. It's like a giving and receiving kind of card. Emotional support, a balanced flow of energy. You might be getting assistance from somebody generous, but it also might be like reciprocity and fairness are like key parts of it. And then the Magician is about manifestation and willpower. So that's like the power to create and manifest your desires using your own skills and talents and focuses. It's about like channeling your own energy very intentionally. So I think what this says to me is that we find Kiri, because where we last left her, she was in a very fraught situation where she may have just overheard Oda Clasp murder Gilles, her rival. We don't know that for a fact, but that's sure what it sounded like. So the Vancian campus doesn't actually seem very safe for Kiri right now. Not to mention, she also had, before leaving for their grand tour around the Suns, like sent Oda Clasp's letters to a journalist at the Saturninian Gazette.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also probably not very good for her if Oda finds that out, and clearly Oda's like capable of conducting a hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what this says to me is that Kiri has gone to seek refuge because her only home was, she didn't have a house, like her only home was the campus.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she went to go seek refuge in that book with the old head of the Vancian campus, who is also on the lam from Oda, which would connect to this like nostalgia and harmony stuff and generosity, receiving help from friends, that kind of thing. So I think she's hiding out in this book. And I think what we see her doing, and this is the Magician part and the nostalgia part coming in, is Kiri is reliving memories, I think, like, of people who have disappeared. Alinea, Gilles, like, you know, even her, like, sister to some extent. I think she's sort of running them through and, like, conjuring them almost magically, and then embodying them. Like, basically, you know, when you watch like too much TV and suddenly your reality starts to feel like the television show more than the actual reality around you.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, but more visceral. Mm-hmm. So I think this maybe connects to her mind palace a little. She's able to kind of perform or conjure these memories in the mind palace, then actually sort of like live them through. Or if something isn't like correct or she's missing, you know, she'll rewind it and like replay that part of the memory again. And I think a lot of these memories are like happy memories or memories of like banter or support or things of that nature. I think maybe she's even replaying memories of Gav and Twig and Maurice. But I think like bubbles, they pop at certain points, either where Curie's memory doesn't really contain, like stops or doesn't contain where it ends, or like she reaches the end of the memory and there's nothing left on the spool of tape. And I think when those memories pop, what's left behind is, imagine like a Pepe Sylvia board full of like thumbtacks and like pictures and all that stuff of the disappeared Vancian folks.
Oh, absolutely.
Who she has been trying to figure out, along with the NPC, forgive me, I have forgotten her name, the old head of the campus.
Yadavastra.
Yadavastra, that's it, yes. I think she's been working with Yadavastra in her mind palace to try to figure out from what little scraps they have and have been able to source from like basically hiding out information, both in like memories of replaying right before they left and people had vanished, anything that Yadavastra knew, having lived through some of those events, trying to figure out what possibly could have happened to the Vans, how that's connected to what Oda's doing, and who might be controlling Oda's agenda and interests. So Curie's gone very film noir is the long and short answer. She may as well have the door to her mind palace look like, a private investigator door, and you swing in and she's just there, all 40s look with like a cigarette.
Oh, I love it.
Answers are eluding me.
I think that's what's interesting to me is I picture those kind of replayed moments as well, those replayed memories, almost like, how they have those glass, what was it? Not terrariums, what are they called? In museums where they represent a period of time or types of people. They're not called terrariums. They're no, I don't know. Basically, it's like when
dioramas.
Dioramas. Thank you. Oh, it's like those diorama exhibits of like animals from a certain time when they encountered, prehistoric people. But it's just like, almost these kind of like too lifelike or uncanny valley waxen figures of people that seem to kind of animate and become much more real in that moment. But then as you kind of like get repeated exposure, your details start showing to be actually much more waxen and much less kind of like have much less verisimilitude. And the thing that's, as you are kind of like laying out this kind of murder board, this conspiracy wall, what have you, as you're kind of gathering up your red string into a spool, you just hear inside of your mind, this is quite a prodigious effort. What do you think we're missing?
Told you. I don't need your help.
I am you.
No, you're not. You're a seed of truth. And not objective truth, mind you, not verifiable fact. You're just a subjective opinion.
But I am your subjective opinion, and you are very rational and very analytical.
Why you have no place in this conversation. This is a brain activity.
Well, one could argue that I'm the same.
But this is a puzzle. You don't solve puzzles with subjective feeling.
No, you solve puzzles by starting with the edge pieces and then finding the corresponding colors and patterns.
And I'm just supposed to feel that out, am I? I'm just supposed to get in touch with that deep inside of myself?
To find the corners. What is the edge of this conspiracy?
Well, I suppose the political coup. That seems to be the major event that this is all orbiting around, at least as far as the Vants are concerned.
Yes.
That's an edge.
What about the others? They've won. So, what does Marlowe Anvers want? What is that edge?
Marlowe Anvers wants something to do with me. I think. God knows what. But he seemed to know something about me. Or I don't know. There was a moment. The way that he reacted. He saw something, and I don't know what it was that concerned me.
True. However, he did want to abduct you, but he stopped. What does that suggest?
That he had somewhere to be. Presumably something to do.
That
something
was
urgent.
That was more important or more lucrative, remunerative, whatever the word case may be.
And logic, mind you, would suggest it will happen soon. Whatever he's working on, wherever he went.
Exactly. You've deciphered an edge. Now, what patterns are there?
Advance. Marlowe's interfered with the Vance for a while. And lest we forget Esthane, who showed up way back when and tried to take the Grimoire. The Grimoire, what? There's something in the Grimoire, isn't there?
Perhaps.
Something they want?
There is, however, also the fact that you have procured a second grimoire.
That's true. I haven't really read it. This Book of M.
You haven't. That seems very unlike you.
How are you to know what is like or not like me?
I have some experience.
You are a voice in my head. That hardly qualifies you to make wild gesticulations about what I may or may not do, or who I may or may not be.
I am truth in its totality.
Subjectively.
Perhaps.
Aren't you going to chastise me about how I'm manufacturing happiness by reliving old memories? That seems like something you would do.
Are you going to chastise yourself?
Isn't that your job? Isn't that why you're here? To be some sort of conscience or counterpoint to everything that I do?
I am a
Aren't
source.
you supposed to ask me questions like, what do you think about that? What do you feel? Relevant, pointless things like that?
I am the seed of inner truth. Whatever truth lies inside you is wholly self-determined.
That's not how truth works. It is either true or not.
And what defines whether something is true or not?
Logic. Fact. Yes or no. Science. Inquiry. We find out either something is one way or it's the other.
Very well. You are defining the truth as you understand it here.
Isn't that what you just told me to do?
It is what you have been doing. It is how you've been instructing yourself. I am merely complementing your reasoning. I am the conclusion that you have already been jumping to.
I don't jump to conclusions. I arrive at them after a long, steady, stoic, thoughtful process.
Words are important, and you understand the words.
I do. It's my thing.
Some words leave a little bit to be desired, however.
What do you mean?
Well, anything can be a thing. But we're getting caught up in rhetoric. And at this point, Yadavastra comes in, and wheels in on her chair, and or on their chair rather, and you hear them say, "I'm sorry, are you talking to someone?"
No. And I think she very brusquely, like, you could almost see like a shutter being pulled down, like over, or a cloth being thrown over the bust of the seed in her mind. In effect, like silencing it the way that you would a bird in a cage. And I think she very brusquely like shuffles some papers. No one of import, merely musing to myself. I've begun doing that recently, and it's very odd. I'm not sure I like it.
I always found internal dialogue a very helpful sort of way to think through practicum, theories, and spell work. I wouldn't be surprised if you did the same, and I wouldn't hold it against you.
You know, I've never needed to before. It's only since this... Well, let's just say... It's almost like one day I started hearing a voice, and now it won't shut up.
Well, maybe those voices are the ones that we need to hear before we arrive at some terrible danger. This came for you, and she hands you a missive.
Oh. Should we be concerned about this? No one's supposed to know how to find us.
That is actually a very good point, which is my question is, would you have told Maurice where to find you?
That missive got sent to Kiri's dorm or whatever it was at the Vancian campus, so.
Oof, okay. All right. We're going to retcon that then.
Does infosec mean nothing to you, Maurice? Compartmentalization? Are these words that mean nothing to you?
Well, and like I have like limitless telepathy with you guys. I've really screwed the pooch.
You do have, you also do like have dream speech or something.
So many different ways, basically free ways to do this. Yeah.
And yet you decided you wanted to send a missive. You wanted to be a like employ a writerly Maree there. Totally fine.
What I did was great, actually.
Excellent. So in that
is that what we're calling it these days?
A writerly Maree?
Yeah. When my door gets kicked, well, when my house doesn't really have a door so much as it has some plants, but don't worry about that. When my metaphorical door gets kicked down by the fucking thaw, I'll know who to blame.
So in that case, I mean, you realize, like, Kiri, I think at this point then we kind of roll that back. We're going to take a step back. And Yadavastra, I think, is looking at you and just says, well, what luck have you found out about determining your own condition, this thing that this new change that you arrived at?
You mean about my magic?
Yes.
I wish I knew. Spells have just become kind of fickle. Sometimes they want to work, and other times they don't. And when they don't, it's because they are mad at me, or it's very strange. I don't entirely know what to make of it. It's relational. Like it's like I've got interpersonal relationships with every spell, and depending on the state of the relationship, it has something to do with how well it works. It's like a chemistry thing, but it's never been that way before. That's not what magic is. That's not how magic works. I've studied the Vancian canon as you have.
Yes,
There's nothing in there about this.
Well, perhaps because you are so low in rank, you have not had the opportunity to really pursue scholarship in such a way. But Vancian magic is based upon the principle that spells are living, breathing things that exist in a world, if not parallel, then very similar to our own. The current, of magic itself is almost like the atmosphere around us, perhaps almost like etheric spirits. Perhaps the current lives and suffuses inside every Vizsla. It is perhaps Vizsla that are just the most uniquely suited to tap into it as conduits. And perhaps what you encountered led you to have that specific ability to converse with them as a normal person would to another person. Normally, we make our feelings and our intentions known to Vancian spells through formula, through theorem, through the practical application of language and syntax.
Right.
However, those principles apply regardless of which manner of communication you employ. The theorem, the practicum, the proofs that we have taught you are meant to be employed to create a almost symbiotic relationship between the spell and the wearer. And so, when you next make your sojourn into the current, or next you actually speak with one of these spells, then I encourage you to use those same linguistic, syntactical, or emotional trappings. Think of how we respect the spell. We entreaty unto it. It's no different from the way a goetic may ask a favor of an angel, or a maker may speak with their tools, or a weaver may pull together an aggregate. There is a language, a technique, and one only needs the practice to harness that technique, to make the most effective use of it.
So what you're saying is that when a spell tells me it's angry, it's really communicating that by way of complicated theoretical formulas and morphological structure, and then I perceive it as anger, and then I communicate in complex theorems and morphological structure back to it when I try to calm its anger?
Think of Bryce's formula for volatility within beta-gamma casting. Essentially,
she recites it.
Yes, you are dealing with a volatile spell, no different from you might be dealing with a volatile personality. A mercurial or gregorious spell will be that much more easier to harness, will require a much less overcompensating coefficient.
So I just need to learn how to use emotion the way that I solve a logic proof.
At least in the range of spellcraft. Spell writing, spell syntax is almost a universal language. It undercodes the whole of our reality.
So I suppose in that case, every emotion any one of us ever feels is coded, or there's a code that creates it, or shapes it, or brings it into being.
Very much so, and there is even more than one current of magic if you merely pick up this book. And she gently slides back onto your side table. Book M.
You know, if I had my druthers, I'd spend all day reading it and figuring it out, but that won't help us along the path to figuring out what happened to the missing vans. Least of all, Alinea.
This is true. So, we should once again we should recommence our work. And at this point, we are going to cut away. So, Maurice, you are walking towards Garver's. Is there anything that's changed, anything that you intend to do in this moment? kind of given your experience earlier in the day?
I think he gets there like a full 15 minutes early, and he's smoking his pipe, and he's kind of got his brow furrowed. And he looks down at Duncan and says, Plan B. And he opens up a mental group chat. I've named this repeated thread, repeated weave that I do called It's Your Friend Maurice. And I spend 11 sorcery to have an extended mental conversation with Gab, Twig, and Kiri.
Excellent.
11 sorcery for a group chat?
In this economy?
Does it come with a fancy little like sound effect that says, "This is your friend Maurice. This is your friend Maurice"?
It's just
would kill
it's just
you.
the Skype sound effect as like you
Oh
all
my
join the
God.
room. Bloop. Yeah, look, casting spells is expensive, okay? Marie says, hey, sorry, I know you all got my message, but we're not going to do this. We need to do something else. The vibes are bad.
What happened?
Does infosec mean nothing to you? Twig's talking way too loud in their own head.
What?
Like, you know, like
message?
as somebody who doesn't really know how to talk.
Well,
myself.
I invited us all to dinner. What, you don't like the mail?
No.
Where did you send it? I didn't get any mail.
I sent it to. Are you still at the Vancian
I'm already
dorms?
almost there.
Duh.
Yeah, don't go there. Listen, I had a conversation with Abron earlier, and something's wrong with Abron, and that's actually worse than it sounds because he remembers a lot. He knows who the Miller is, so that's dangerous. Look, I wanted to have dinner with you guys, but I think we gotta maybe make some game time calls right now.
Come back to my house.
Okay. All right. Everyone go to Gav's house?
Can someone come get me? I think my location needs to be transported to Gav's house.
Sure. Who's closest to you now?
What do you mean your location needs to be transported? I hate it here.
It is at this point, Maurice, I turned a card.
All right, because I cast a spell. Yeah.
Yeah. And the card I turned was the Unwelcome Child, which is meanings are bad luck and imbalance, things undesired, outcasts, and duplicitousness. The Unwelcome Child is unwelcome because she is a horror. No one sees her for what she truly is, and they assume that terrible things that happen around her have other causes. She maintains a facade of sweetness and love, exploiting our own inherent affection for children. She uses our desire to nurture against us. At best, once we have realized her nature, all we can really do is cast her out. Anything more would be wrong, for she is, after all, only a child. The Unwelcome Child is the apprentice of the Notions family and brings them no joy. Disaster strikes. A curse or plague ravages the area. An NPC has deceived someone. Someone is exiled. An NPC infiltrates the location under false pretenses to do something awful. A child is involved in something of import. So, the thing that you notice as you finish your discussion is you noticed as you were kind of arriving close to the area a number of thaw on kind of like down a couple of side streets. That number has now tripled. They all seem to be approaching Garver's restaurant. And at the same time, there seems to be this kind of unwelcome quiet that has kind of fallen over all of the restaurant goers. And off down one side street in particular, you see a figure with some sort of massive, it's kind of like wearing a massive dress, and like with a enormous bustle on the back of it, and a woman with unmistakably Vancian attire, and a very severe updone hairstyle, shocked through with iron gray, seems to be making a slow advance, almost kind of walking behind the agents of the Thaw. And that's when you see a couple of Thaw agents begin entering Garvers and begin pulling aside patrons and kind of like almost examining them through those black helmets that they wear. And you realize that your operational security has been compromised.
How far away was I able to get?
You're gotten sufficiently far, I will say, that no one has noticed you yet. So it is up to you what you do in this moment.
Yeah, I mean, Maurice is able to sustain this conversation for quite some time. So he kind of reports this in a kind of a breathless whisper. Oh my God! Oh, the importance. Okay, no, I gotta go. Where's meet at Gaps.
Okay.
Are you in
I think
trouble?
that, like, before that's cut off, Kiri's like, somebody does need to come get me.
Yeah. No, yo, I'm coming. Where? Give me. Drop a pin.
Drop a pin in the group chat.
Where? Like Twig is just like, where are you?
I feel like at that point, like the I don't know what interference being in a book does to having a group telepathic call, but I imagine there's probably some, and it's like staticky, like bookshop, corner of that one weird old lady.
My weave is so good that I can do this across planes. Okay.
Exactly.
I can talk in a book.
Say.
First time.
The call is coming from inside the book.
Yeah, so I think you're able to quickly pick up this book from a fairly kind of rustic bookseller who looks at you apprehensively and then kind of almost begrudgingly acquiesces to giving you the book and says, "Now you make sure they're brought back here on time, you hear?"
Absolutely.
Very well,
On
then.
time.
And then, and basically, Massa Yadavastra is counting on us, so I'm going to allow this, but remember, it's a big thing to get more trust.
Really appreciate it. Thanks so much. And as he leaves, he kind of talks down to Duncan and says, "Now, what do you know about asking forgiveness in place of permission?"
Oh, I don't know. Those two things sound like the same.
Yeah, cut there. That's great.
All right. I will say, if you guys want, you guys can cut to being inside the Expanse in the house. You guys could have the book open if you guys want to be extra safe and be inside there. Is there anything in particular you guys want to do?
I don't mind if we feel like we need to be in the book in my secret house in the ruined expanse. We're pretty safe out here, all things considered.
In an egg, under a duck,
Exactly.
in a pond, you know.
Yeah, we can be in a book. If y'all feel safe.
We would, I mean, what if I open the book and say, "All right, come on out"?
Wicked
Rainbow
books
noise
never-
plays.
That's bad.
All right.
Kiri, you want to talk to us? You want to come out?
Actually, I will say, now that I think about it, right now is a good time for us to take a 10-minute break. So Let's come back, guys, in 10 minutes. For everybody watching the show, we will be back after our 10-minute break, and we shall resume where we picked up, or where we left. We will pick up where we left off, and you guys will get to see the rest of this first time back in the Hole in the World. See you soon. everybody, and welcome back to The Hole in the World, an actual play set in the Invisible Sun RPG of Monte Cook Games. I am once again your humble host, Zach, as otherwise your GM, otherwise your producer / otherwise your your himbo. There we go. And guys, we're gonna actually resume with the second half of our show. So if you guys recall, everybody had arrived back in Saturnine after a variety of small interludes, and now we kind of see what's been transpiring in the time that they've been away, but also what kind of forces have been conspiring against them. However, it is with some bit of coordination and near missing an encounter with the Thaw and with the police forces of the city, as well as perhaps a strange figure at the back of those forces in the Topiary district, that you guys have managed to find yourselves in the ruined expanse in Gavriel's house as you discuss what your next move shall be. And so let me set the mood with a little bit of additional music. And tell us a little bit what this looks like. Where are you guys? What are you discussing?
I think I've taken us all down to the what would it actually be? We had like correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but we had an area in this house that was sort of underground.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not quite a shelter, not quite a basement. I don't know what it used to be, but we've sort of turned it into a war room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that this could have even been like a former cellar or a wine basement. And you've kind of reappropriated. You could take your chances on some of the vintages in here, but you have no idea what some of the effects
don't hate
might
myself
be.
that much.
Yeah. All right.
So
Yeah.
everyone's here. Twig hasn't decided to go somewhere else.
Twig came through the wastes, but yeah.
Do we have to go into the book to talk to Kiri, or can we coax Kiri out?
Well, I actually just pulled a tarot card to answer the question about whether or not Yadavastra came out of the book with Kiri.
Mm-hmm.
I shit you not, the answer is the Hermit. So no.
Oof.
I think
You know,
Yadavastra at the very
Perhaps
least
it is
did
best
not.
if I stay inside and let you strategize.
Just pull an Uno reverse card out on Zach.
Uno reverse.
Yeah, everyone get a different game.
Wait, hold on.
I am the maker of my own destiny.
It's
Any
just
card
Calvin
based.
Ball, the TTRPG.
Is that not what we're playing?
No shit.
Oh, man.
This is the most Calvin Ball game in the world.
Oh man, guys.
Thank you, Monte Cook.
Yes, we love you.
shout out to
With affection.
I really want to play Slayers because they do every like playbook plays completely differently. Which is basically this when you look at the various schools. Apostates are just like, but what if I did everything but nothing at all?
What if no?
What if
What if no?
What if I just
And
went on
what
five?
if screw you for asking?
What if we cause problems on purpose?
Yeah, apostates is for brats. We've established that.
So I think I liked what you said, Hopper, Twig, before the break, which was do you have no concept of infosec?
Yeah, I think Twig is basically rolled in and
and-
immediately yelled that.
And Marissa's saying, okay, but now we have information. It's scary information, but we have information now. They're coming. They're moving now. And I don't think it was entirely the Death Cab Postal Service, but I do think that they have some eyes on us.
Oh, they definitely have more than you think.
Okay,
Since-
even more information.
Since being back here in the city, I've seen things that there's something that they have out here. I don't know what they are, but I've seen them sniffing around the city, literally. dogs of some kind. I don't think they can see me, but they definitely know I'm there. And well, let me back. There's too much. No, let me sum up.
Okay. Yeah.
You mean like a dog?
In the Marquest district, the tower, it's not a tower. We remember when we were in the war report that we saw the creature that killed the warden?
Yeah.
That's the tower.
Zach, can you tell us what we remember about that creature?
The creature was basically, if you think of Quis, Queen King Quis, the Warden of Truth, as being a monolithic warden, kind of like humanoid in stature, but taking the shape of whatever truth everybody saw. Basically, this creature was almost like a serpent-like Jormungandr type creature that slammed into it and basically killed it. Killed Quest. So whatever this thing is, it has the same power as a warden, and it is colossal in size.
Does it look anything like the Warden of the Black Sun?
Yes, in point of fact. It looks very similar.
And sorry, just to get me story straight, because we shared this vision that Twig ate about.
I threw it up so you could have it.
We saw all the wardens destroy the Black Sun. Were they fighting a Black Warden? Was the Black Warden defending it?
It wasn't that it was defending it.
It's that it fled.
It fled, taking a large piece of the Black Sun.
Yikes.
However, as you guys are kind of like, and I'm assuming you're having this discussion in character as well as out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to remind ourselves what we saw.
I will say that the moment that somebody says, hey, that looked very similar to the Warden of the Black Sun, or the warden-like creature that, took a piece of it, you remember, Gavriel, that Sun Warden that they described was also the thing that you thought of as your people's god.
Wait. Wait, just so I'm clear, and I don't actually explode the game from the inside out. So the creature that I saw that is making up the tower is potentially the co-opted body of my god, and also these people have co-opted the bodies of my actual people to serve as their militant slaves. Do I have this correct?
Yes.
Also,
I have to kill everything.
The many-faceted one, the many-angled one. You have heard so
I'm
many
going-
times.
Speak to it, or didn't you, Gab? You spoke to it, the multifaceted one, at one point, I think.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there was like a moment where you had like a little.
Oh no, Gab spoke to Vizsla.
No.
No.
It was
Everybody, hold on. Everybody.
wait, I
God
want to
is
say
talking.
something. I want to say something confidently incorrect. Sorry, go ahead.
You spoke to a piece of the legacy.
That's what I thought.
Legacy is basically one of the remnants of the original spell that had been cast by Vizsla to basically begin the universe. And so this piece spoke to Gavriel. And you successfully defend it being corrupted in more than likely a very similar fashion.
Great. So if I may, this is all fun and games. I'm going to bring us back into, if we were having that discussion out loud in character, and this sounds very much like the entity that I am now understanding was worshipped by the Erebast, I'm going to append a table into a wall. And like the feathers on Gav's like back all the way down past her neck, now going to her spine, are starting to like flare up, and you can see some of that You've never seen her like just full blown go into that more monstrous Erebashed form without deliberately casting a spell, but you can start to see like it's hulking out just a little bit.
Maurice is comforting Duncan.
By all means, comfort the dog.
Twig is taking the opportunity to eat one of Kiri's books, like surreptitiously, like potato chips. I'm gonna roll a
No, there's
stealth
only
check.
one. There's only one book. You're in Gav's house.
And
No,
yet
there's
you can't eat my
whatever.
book. It's
I'm
my
gonna
house.
eat Gav's books. I'll eat your
There's
house.
not that many books.
Come at me, bro.
There's bad wine.
Okay, Twig's eating some like a shitty romance novel. What's her face? The Angel of Anarchy has left up somewhere,
I like that.
and drinking like wine that's been left out.
Just some good old Saturnine smut.
The angel with too many eyes.
And just kind of like not engaging with Gav at all, and just goes, when you're done with that, what about, do they live in the 13th hour? Is that where these assholes live?
I think
Like, Twig knows nothing about this world, but has perfect recall. So is making, which is great because it means that Hopper, who remembers a lot of things but can't remember what the fuck matters, is like the 13th hour is gone. It's missing.
it was.
Do these?
As far as you know, it was lost or consumed or kind of reappropriated somehow. Yes, during the war for sure. But sorry, I'm cutting you off. What do you want to know?
Do they have the 13th hour? Is that how these chuckle fucks always has the jump on us?
Could be.
Yuri, what do you think?
Using it, I suppose, as a... I don't know, it reminds me of something I maybe half dreamed. Just... Maybe, Maurice, you might remember, because I think it's a piece of fiction. It's like everyone freezes and then time continues, but it's kind of like what Kieran did back in the war report, right? If you could master time like that, if you could have everyone freeze but you move about, you would have far more ability to know things you shouldn't and be places you shouldn't and make things happen that, when they're bound to the laws of ordinary time, couldn't.
Makes a lot of sense. Certainly, the way that the Spider Prince engineered that. Certainly, they know that. So, yeah, using it against us seems poetic. Look, I know it's been a lot, but I don't feel like we have time to rest or talk or take care of ourselves in any way that we need to. We need to move. I don't think we're safe here. I think we need to.
We're not. They're going to keep coming.
And whatever they're doing, we're still behind.
Well, it's over for the Vance. I mean, with Oda Clasp in charge, it's done, and the coup has taken place. The Vance are corrupted. There's nothing we can do about that.
Everything is corrupted here in the city. I can see it. Literally, I can see it. We are not ready to face them, but we have to get ready.
We need the other seeds, right? There's 2 more?
Yes.
Well, and remember, we were told to, and I think Kiri looks at Twig, to help them, to protect them, right? That might be connected to all of this.
Are you...
You still don't have your heart, right, Twig?
Neither of them.
You gotta have your heart. I mean, that goes without saying. Every second that we wait, I guess, is a second that we're not getting to the other seeds that we need.
Then we're
So-
not waiting. You need the hearts, let's get it. We need the seeds, let's get them. We know it's in the green, right?
The night side.
Night side, day side, who cares? We know where it is.
Okay. Great. How do we get there?
If you put me on that ship again, I'm going to scream.
Which is why I asked how we were gonna get there this time.
Well,
You
There-
can do that thing, right? With the opening and the walking. And
yeah. There's also just an open portal into the dark side of the green in my garden.
Oh, that's
Convenient.
a little too narratively convenient, would you think? Where'd that come from?
Jared, maybe?
Oh boy.
die. Didn't we all see him killed?
Twice, I think.
Don't think anybody really stays dead here.
Oh God, you're
Fail is a
telling
place.
me I had to kill the stupid postman you sent because you sent somebody to my house.
Wait, you killed a member of the Death Cab Postal Service?
Yeah.
Oh, Twig.
What did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know. That they'd leave it in your mailbox?
You sent the feds to my house, my secret house.
It's a private courier service.
They're
No.
a postal service.
I'm sure that information's compromised. Okay. As if they didn't already know where we lived.
They already know.
Twig, let's take your portal.
I'm
Your heart. Don't you want it?
apparently I'm gonna die without it, so that would be a bit of a
I'm sorry. I thought you needed help. You want to die? What is this? The apathetic Twig?
no. Then we'll just restart the cycle and nothing will ever change. Just let's get the stupid heart.
Yeah. You're gonna tell me more about what the hell you just said as we walk to your portal.
Would you like to talk to Okris?
Does Okris want to live? What's the cycle? What
I
do
would
you
love to talk to Okris because they're going to be much more on board with, let's actually get stuff done.
Well, and Maurice turns to Gavin and says, like, what makes you think that we were supposed to protect Twig or Okris? What about Cash? Maybe that's who we're supposed to protect.
I
Aren't
mean,
they-
may I volunteer that as someone who understands the words, the pronoun them can refer to a multitude of beings.
It could.
mean the triumvirate of them. And in a world where we've got a deathless triumvirate apparently sitting on maybe we have a different triumvirate that can fight that. I don't
They're
know.
not deathless. They can die.
Well, they
Just
probably
saying
will.
that there is a third to consider, whether singular or plural.
Zach, I have a thought, and I'm trying to decide what a sneaky little fuck you are.
I'm very
How
sneaky.
much of a sneaky little fuck you are.
I'm very sneaky, but at the same time, I don't know what you're going for, but if it's interesting, it might be true.
I'm not saying it out loud then. Fuck you. Yeah, I think Twig is just kind of like pacing around at this point, having fully consumed this romance novel.
Your blood's up.
Blood's up. Ink's. Hey, I'm chock full of ink, y'all. It's like beans, but better.
You're Maree shoots you a withering look, even though it's just a romance novel.
Oh, I'm gonna disparage a whole genre like that. Okay.
So so we get your heart, and you're upset the cycle's going to continue.
No, it's more the existential threat of being hunted forever.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that. Perhaps you
Yeah.
might actually wish to work towards the goal of maybe ending one cycle. Who cares if it starts again?
I care. I would prefer if that didn't happen.
You'd prefer the cycle stop.
No, it's complicated.
You know what? It's actually simple. We have a mission. Maybe it's to protect you or to protect one entity of you. Maybe it's to get your goddamn heart back into your body so we can actually focus on ending whatever horror show is going on out there. Because quite frankly, I know that this is hard for you, Twig. Believe me, maybe I'm not the best at expressing it. However, if you're serious, then I have a host of people that are also being hunted, and worse. So you can be existential and angry about it all you want, but you're going to do it while we're walking. Even if I have to push you to the night side of the green myself.
You don't need to push me anywhere. Look, if you want to come to my turf, I'll accept the help.
I do want to help you. I'm a bit discouraged and surprised that you seem to not want to help yourself.
Self is a complicated concept.
Granted.
And at this point, I believe we're going to smash cut to your garden, Twig.
Well, the remnants of it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a description of the garden, Zach?
Absolutely. So, essentially, at the heart of this garden, there is still a massive silver tree that has essentially and it's dead in places. And seems like to have this kind of unnatural leeching life. And at its heart is about a person-sized hollow in which any of you could walk straight into what appears to be this kind of almost razor silver barked kind of interior that before kind of giving way, the silver bark leads on into, from this kind of bright shining point to a very deep darkness, black in the recesses of the tree. Even if it seems only a modicum at first, the longer you stare into this darkness, it is the more off-putting, the more unsettled you feel. However, the entirety of the rest of the garden, or the domicile as it were, seems to have been just, if there's a possible kind of image of almost like what used to be a level kind of garden, is there is essentially a large hill in the center in which all of the other terrain around it and spiraling, and what didn't kind of cover its roots spiraling down, has just been kind of uplifted. Vegetation, wreckage, and soil and earth and all, just leaving fragments and splinters everywhere, as you are once again kind of reminded of perhaps the story that has been kind of making its way through the Saturnine site about a walking battlefield that has managed to essentially kind of make its way through the city, all whilst screaming the entire time. It's in this kind of almost kind of reverse, this moat, you find Fix-Up kind of tending with what looks to be an arm bone with fingers that have been kind of repurposed into a rake. Fix Up has essentially begun raking with one massive hand the sand around this planted tree at the center. Just as, oh, hello. And he raises the rake and waves with it.
Hey, bud.
Are these friends? I recognize her. And points towards Kiri. In a very friendly way. Just kind of like shakes his head as just a few leaves kind of plummet down and float from his branches.
I think Kiri looks very like abashed a little bit and is like, hi, Fix Up. But yeah, almost looks like a little shy though. Like the last time she saw Fix Up was in a very sort of vulnerable moment, and she maybe doesn't want to acknowledge that because nobody else was there. So I think she's sort of brushing over like, good to see you again. Please don't talk about that.
But friends? And he takes the bones and points at Gav and at Maurice almost apprehensively.
Also friends.
Oh, okay. I am tending to the garden. Is there anything I can do to fix up things?
Twig just kind of looks around and just, you're doing a great job, buddy.
Oh. And he just kind of continues tending. I think kind of sensing the importance kind of gives a little bit of a wide berth, you realize, to the silver tree in the middle.
Twig is gonna be just kind of look at the other three and just say, 1 second, please. And then goes in the house for like 5 minutes. And like you see they pass through like this kind of like awkward tumble of broken concrete and rubble and through this kind of veil of vines. And I think you kind of hear a few like kind of just vaguely floating out from this underground domicile. You just hear, fuck, where the fuck, god damn it. And then eventually they come out tucking something into a pocket.
Okay. Does anybody have...
Everybody ready? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
During that time, Maurice took out like a small flip pad and started scribbling a note on it. If no one else is doing anything, Maurice has taken this note, ripped it off, rolled it up, and gotten down on Duncan's level, awakened Duncan's level, and said, "Hey, buddy.
Hey, Dad.
I need you to do something for me.
Okay.
I need you to find Ashwin.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And I need you to give him this." And Maurice tucks the note into his collar.
Okay. Well, you sure you don't want me in there?
It's going to be real dangerous in there. And more importantly, I need you to do this. I don't have another option. I'm counting on you. And mechanically, I'm not sure exactly because it's all Weaver-y, the things you can do.
Oh.
But I have access to up to a level 6 effect.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm doing is I'm weaving the quality of wind, which is speed,
Mm-hmm.
and the quality of courage from heart. Okay. And I'm imbuing Awakened Duncan with the speed and the courage to get this task done.
Absolutely. He kind of like takes a moment and he just kind of like, okay, if you need me to do this, I will do it because I love you.
You too, bud. Ashwin's gonna keep you safe.
Okay. And you see Duncan take off like a shot. The fastest you've ever seen him run on 4 legs. Fastest I think any of you have ever seen a dog run on 4 legs. He just bolts and is out of the garden before even you can hear the joints in Fix-Up's bark to crane to look.
Yeah, Maree lights a pipe, takes a deep breath, and blows out a fucking Gandalf fucking ship through a ring, and takes a action rest in that moment. Recovers all of his sorcery. Well then, shall we?
As you guys begin as you say that, all of you hear the clatter of bones on earth. And a voice that is familiar and yet alien perks up in the back of your ears. He will require a sacrifice. You will make it willingly. Else passage shall not be granted to those who have never traversed the green. And then you see a dark green light leave Fix-Up's eyes as he kind of shudders and, what was that?
Twig stands up immediately and just kind of quickly walks over, then reaches up to has to reach up and just kind of puts a hand on Fix-Up's arm, I guess, whatever they can reach.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
just
Fury
says,
actually probably did the same thing, grabbed a tendril of support.
"Hey,
Yes.
don't worry about it, buddy. That was something just talked through you. It's definitely something that happens to all plants that are growing."
Okay.
Based on what Twig knows, it's something that happens to everybody all the time.
Are you...
It's part of growing up. Sometimes that's just something that happens. How you feeling?
Are you going to be safe?
I'm surrounded by some of the most passionate people I know.
Okay. And he bends down, and you hear once again the cracking of limbs and bark as he picks up the rake.
Yeah. Twig just kind of squeezes one woody kind of stretch of skeletal or structural skeletal wood tissue. Just says, "It's gonna be okay."
Okay.
I don't really stop. And if you see me and I don't recognize you, just give me some time. I'll always come back.
Okay. And I think at this point, he kind of rises back up from his knee and steps back, and before what seemed to be moving to rake a little bit, just kind of almost stands stock still to watch you guys as you pass. Kiri, did you have anything else? I know that you had also kind of rushed up to his side.
No. I mean, I think Kiri was mostly there to support. Although, I think Kiri does sort of do a kind of once over of Fix-Up. She remembers that Fix-Up kind of was the conduit for how once upon a time she was able to call Twig back from wherever they were post becoming ogress. And so I think there's sort of a curiosity in her that's like, does Fix Up have some sort of like connectivity to a different realm, or like some sort of like embeddedness in like gardens, both alive and dead and dreamed and...
Can I pitch an answer to this that comes from the card pool that should have happened when I made my weave?
Sure. Oh, you need me to pull a card.
Yeah, sorry.
Teacher!
We've been playing this game for 6 years.
Ah. The Banished Serpent. Silver. Gold. Mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. Balance, exile, and punishment. Visley no exile, but for them and their time in shadow, the exile was self-imposed. The Banished Serpent was cast out, sent back from whence it came. Banishment rids us of a problem, but it does not bring it to a permanent end. It is rarely a true solution. Rather, it is often a punishment. We banish those who have threatened us or wronged us because exile is what they fear. The fact that it ends the threat, at least temporarily, is just an added benefit. As a punishment, then, it is an act of balance, an appropriate and measured response to an unwanted act. The Banished Serpent can be a blessing or a curse, depending on who is getting exiled or punished. The card turn may suggest that the person in question faces this fate, but it also might be someone else involved in the matter at hand. Sometimes, though, it can simply be a balancing of the metaphorical scales. It can mean that someone gets what's coming to them, and whether that be good or bad, it is a settling of accounts, so to speak. So, what do you pitch, Bill?
That this applies to Fix Up. Kiri gets insight into how the Banished Serpent applies to Fix Up.
So, in this case, perhaps the idea is that there is a part of Fix Up that was created when Twig banished Jiren into the soil. And whatever has kind of allowed Jiren or to kind of metastasize or to transport himself beyond the grasp of death and this finality, whatever allows him to do that is also kind of responsible for imparting this conduit nature to Fix Up. Whether it's a conduit to the night side of the green is one thing. Whether it's a conduit directly to Twig is another. Or maybe they're both the same thing.
Oh. And this is where I have to decide whether I think Zach is very fucking clever or not. And I do know Zach is very
I was gonna say
clever.
that's an easy bet.
So now I just had a horrible realization that I'm not going to say it. I'm going to tell everybody later and not Zach right now.
Here's the thing, is 9 times out of 10, your players are going to come up with some cool stuff that's much cooler than that of the GM. All I can do is keep you on your toes. You guys are the ones telling the story.
I love collaborative storytelling and I love telling stupid stories with all of you.
All right, well, let's keep doing it.
I think, yeah. Twig just kind of looks around and just goes, well, y'all ready?
Yeah, just shoulders her gun. Ready when you are.
I think Twig steps in close to Gav and presses something into your hand.
What is it?
Just a little box.
Just a box?
It's a small box about roughly the size of a little bit bigger than a playing card deck.
I will open it.
Unless Zach has some fuck shit to pull,
No,
there's a single bullet round.
I know exactly what that is.
in this box. And you would note, being a professional soldier in the gray, that this is, in fact, a round that is designed to fit into the rifle that you are carrying.
Did you give me a pale seed?
No.
No.
Huh.
Twig just kind of looks at Gav and says, hang on to that for me, yeah?
You're going to tell me what this is at some point.
Yeah. If things get really fucked up, you can ask it.
She'll just stow it.
Okay. So do all of you have anything else you want to do before you march through this tree?
Maurice wants to take up the rear and watch everyone go through.
Okay. They all do. Do you follow them?
Yep.
Twig just...
Sorry. Sorry, Twig, what did you want to do?
Twig's just gonna get down on kind of hands and knees and scrabble into this little, cravat, like this cavity in the stem of this tree, which leads to a portal. I'm sure this cavity is... God, sorry.
You all walk into this cavity. Now, I had originally kind of pictured this as standing, and you were able to kind of traverse it. But if you want to say that they crawl, yeah, you all.
I think
Yeah.
that this I can walk. I don't think I think everybody else has to squeeze a little bit tighter.
Okay.
But I think Twig is just kind of scuttles in.
And as you all squeeze through, this hollow, it seems to tighten for all of you, to the point where it is getting very uncomfortable, to the point where it feels like an incredible effort to squeeze a limb after another limb through. And you each kind of like, however, I will say, this is the experience that Gav, Maurice, and Kiri experience. This is not yours, Twig. In point of fact, you find yourself standing in a choked garden. And when I say a garden, picture a brick-laden path, the bricks themselves, the cobblestones making up this very large kind of what may have been host to like a sundial or some sort of kind of area or reflecting garden. All of the stones that would have made up this garden have been broken and cracked into pieces by what you realize are pioneering species. Choked with ivy, with all manner of vegetation, with all manner of fauna and flora that are rapaciously growing on top of each other to overwhelm the space. It is barely enough to breathe for all of you who are making your ways through the trees. Through this tree, this unending tree, and you find yourselves, your bodies, your limbs caught and bound in ivy that cuts with thorns. And you see a horned figure, colossal in your imagination, and yet, probably to you, standing a mere 10, 12 feet tall, robed, horns spiraling out, not for some manner of ornamentation, but for goring, for ripping rapaciously into flesh. And the wardened Demagon of the night side of the green, greets all of you, except for Twig, who stands witness as all of you are suspended in front of the warden. In vines and ivy, you have to purse your lips to keep them from entering through your mouths. So, what have you brought for sacrifice? And that is where we're going to end.
Hopper and I just barely containing ourselves there at the end. We're having full-blown face journeys.
For the record, I called dibs.
So,
And then Zach was like goring horns, and I was like,
I was so glad I got rid of Duncan.
oh boy.
Oh, no,
no.
puppy,
Can't kill him if he's not here, Zach.
puppy dog.
it's true. It's true.
Oh boy.
All right, guys. This concludes our first episode back into the city of Satyrine. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're longtime viewers, we're so glad to have you back. If you're just arriving to check out the show, please go and see the rest of our series up from the first 2 parts on YouTube, where we have the part 1, the War Report interlude, and part 2, all available for you guys to view at your leisure. So I, once again, have been Zach, otherwise known as the Great Zamino, using throughout the rest of the internet. You can find me on Blue Sky, and pretty much that's the only place I kind of frequent nowadays. But that said, I am so grateful to have such a wonderful cast who are going to give their own shout outs and plugs and what's the opposite of an introduction? An exit of their own. Marcy, if you'd like to give your exit and give your shout outs and plugs.
Sure, I'll keep it short and sweet because I don't know when this is airing in the future. I will say that it's almost certainly going to be airing when there's going to be more Streets of Gotham. So, hell yeah, you should be watching that on Mondays, unless time has a new meaning at some point. Who knows? And then I'm a liar. What are you going to do about it? But we've got a whole bunch of upcoming shows that are actually happening right now, and I can't tell you about them yet, but they might have already happened. It's so exciting to live in this nebulous sphere. It feels very fitting for it to be while we're doing an Invisible Sun game. Has it happened yet? Will it happen? Absolutely.
We're all in the oblong chamber.
And that's it, folks.
Excellent. Moving down the overlay. Bill, if you want to give your exit and your shout outs and plugs.
Yeah, my shout out is, boy, it's nice to sit down with this GM at the table, like we never left. I'd like to plug Jeff Stormer, friend of the show, host of Party One Pod, among other things. Jeff Stormer wrote a book. It's called The Ultimate Fantasy Character Creator, and you can buy it at any bookstore, literally anywhere.
I literally have it somewhere in this room.
In fact, you should buy it.
Oh yeah, could and should.
You should order it or buy it at your local indie bookstore, even.
Ultimate Fantasy Character Creator, Jeff Stormer. That's my plug.
Moving across the overlay, Hopper, if you want to give your exit and your shout out and plugs.
I'm Hopper, still me. Sorry about that. Wow, my brain just got fried. I think Marcy said, you can find me all up on this motherfucker. And
I definitely didn't say it like that.
And also over on the Legend Tree, where I occasionally stream things. And I think I'm going to be doing something. So I'm going to be uploading a bunch of very, very, very dark horror, evil campaign shenanigans that I've been doing to learn how to do OBS, because that shit is hard. And you can find me there. I'm on the internet still. If you're feeling a little freaky, come find me on Tumblr. I'm all over the place. I'm on Reddit, baby. I'm on all the weird fucked up corners of the internet that aren't full of Nazis. Which is feels like most of the internet these days, but okay. I'm also on Blue Sky, and you can just hit me up. I'd love to hear from you.
Aww.
We I guess my plug is mutual aid and reminding everybody that empathy is resistance, and that the laws are not dictates of what is moral. They're dictates of what the ruling class thinks is the best for them. So, yeah. Be gay, do crime.
Excellent. And last but most certainly not least, Marissa, if you want to give your exit and your shout outs and plugs.
What do I have to plug? I will plug. We have completed our season, well, in fact, the game of Bridgerton. And so by this point, I hope that by the time this airs, we have that up and available, and you can see how those crazy kids finally resolved all of their romantic angst. And stay tuned. I don't think this crew is done with the Bridgerton verse, even if we may be moving on from these characters. So keep your eyes peeled and keep tuned to that dial. And yeah, apart from that, I'm just happy to be back playing with these lovely folks.
Aww. Now, guys, for my own part, I'm going to echo what Hopper said, which is if you can, do your best to find opportunities for mutual aid. Help out people that are struggling, because I am certain that by now there's no shortage of people that need that sort of help. So if you can, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and most importantly, most importantly, recover from being sick. And then I hope, and I'm so glad that I get a chance to say this again, that the invisible sun shines on you all. Good night.